And Mr. Cray made the statement that his favorite American stock is Berkshire Hathaway. And one of the major reasons he stated was that Berkshire has never paid a dividend, as we all know, and consequently you had superior utilization of the extra cash. Now, if you extend that reasoning, could it also be a beneficial policy if Coca-Cola and Gillette stopped paying dividends and utilized the cash in other ways?
Well, it depends what they could use how they would utilize the cash and what they could use it for. Those are more focused enterprises than Berkshire, at least in terms of products. And I commend managements that have a wonderful business for utilizing cash in those wonderful businesses or in businesses that they understand and will also have wonderful economics, and for getting the rest of the money back to the shareholders. So Coca-Cola, in my book, is doing exactly the right thing with its cash when it uses all the cash that it can effectively in the business to expand in new markets and all of that sort of thing. But then beyond that, it pays a dividend which distributes cash to shareholders, and then it repurchases shares in a big way, which returns cash on a selective basis to shareholders, but in a way that benefits all of them. So you will benefit from us not paying dividends just as long as we can use every dollar we retain to produce more than a dollar of value and of market value over time. Whether we can continue doing that, how long we can continue doing that, I can't promise you, but that's the yardstick by which the decision is made. And that is the yardstick, I think, by which Coca-Cola is making the decision too, and I think that they deserve great credit for exercising the discipline to quit when using cash when they've run out of the opportunities to use it well, and then to further deploy it advantageously by repurchasing shares. I think one of the things I admire about my friend Bill Gates, he's got $4.5 billion of cash in Microsoft, and there are very few managements can stand having $4.5 billion of cash and not doing something unintelligent with it. So far, it's made sense for us to retain everything we earn, and I think it'll make sense for a while longer, but it may not make sense indefinitely.
In terms of not paying dividends, we don't pay dividends because we think we can turn every dollar we retain into more than a dollar of market value. I mean, the only reason for us to keep your money is if it becomes worth more by us keeping it than it would be worth if we gave it to you. And if we can create more than a dollar of market value for every dollar we keep, you're better off whether you want to take that dollar out by selling a little piece of your stock or whether you continue to leave it in. That's the test. If we come to the conclusion that we can't do that, and we could come to the conclusion sometime, then we should distribute it to you. The interesting thing is, we're in certain businesses, for example, See's Candy being one. We don't have a way to intelligently use all of the money that See's generates within the See's Candy Company. So if See's were a standalone company, it would pay very large dividends. Not because it just had some dividend paying policy. It would be simply because we wouldn't have a way of using, in this case, $30 million a year intelligently in expanding that business. The Buffalo News is the same way. We don't have a way of using money within that specific business intelligently to use the money that it generates. We hope that in the overall Berkshire Hathaway scheme of things, that we can intelligently use the money that the companies in aggregate generate for us. And we think so far we have, and we think the prospects are reasonably good that we can continue to do that. But dividend policy should really be determined by that criteria, also bearing in mind the possibilities of repurchase of stock too, but they should be determined by whether a dollar left in the business is worth more than to the shareholder than a dollar paid out. Someplace like Coca-Cola, if Coca-Cola had paid no dividends and simply repurchased shares and developed the bottling system and done the things that they have, the shareholders probably would have been even better off. They've been sensationally well off as it is, but they probably would have been even better off than they have been with the dividend policy they have had. And that's Gillette and Disney and companies of that sort that have got these terrific opportunities to use capital within the business or to repurchase shares of a company that simply can't be replaced. If that usually is the best use of capital, it's probably better than dividends.